Hello everyone, I hope that you're all doing well. This is me, Sayyid Shujatullah. Today we'll be discussing about current affairs from various newspapers. So we have just upgraded, you can understand that way. So we'll cover the First Post newspaper also, we'll cover the Hindu newspaper also, we'll cover Indian Express also, so on and so forth. If I find any relevance in any of the newspapers, very standard newspapers, if I find any relevance to our examination, that particular aspects also I will cover. The source of the information that I am picking up has been given at the right side at the top. Okay, so you can also go through in detail whenever you are actually learning. Okay, right. Let us go ahead. The first one, you can see that it was taken from the First Post. Very important, it is not mentioned in the Hindu and Indian Express, so we have to be aware of these things also, because we cannot lose our marks, okay, in the examination. And this kind of questions will come for the MCQ aspects, right? World Civil Defense Day. You know that recently Ukraine President Volodymyr, he said that even to the civilians to take up arms, like the government of India saying us to take up arms, okay, to fight China or Pakistan, like that. So are you getting my point here? So civil defense, this is called as what? Civil defense, and whatever our military do at the borders, we call it as military defense. Right. So as you know that Ukraine is not powerful at all when we compare with Russia. So definitely the Ukrainian president has told the civilians, their own countrymen who can bear the arms, who are ready to join the force, they can come front and they can give their service. And it should also be remembered to all of you that in fundamental duties also, we are having this particular clause also. Fundamental duties also, one of the fundamental duties says that, okay, we should be serving the nation whenever we are called upon to do so. Defend the country whenever you are called upon to do so. So every country, majority of the country does mention about that when this military defense is not sufficient, they will definitely ask those who are like able and willing to serve, they can come forward, like that. Okay, so World Civil Defense Day has got prominence because of Ukrainian president statement asking the civilians to join the war. Okay, it is generally held today only, that is March 1st. So you can see here, this is like civilian, military. So civilians, you can see they are also having what? Guns in their hand. They are also having what? Guns in their hand. Okay. So the theme for the World Civil Defense Day of this year is Civil Defense and Management of Displaced Population in Face of Disasters, Crisis. Role of volunteers. Volunteers mean those who are willing to be a part of that particular event. Like here, war. Okay, volunteers, and the fight against what? Pandemics. Fight against what? Pandemic. That is called as what? Civil defense. When we also involve to give help to the government in case of any disaster, in case of any crisis, in case of any pandemics, and in case of any war also. In case of any war also. This is a theme very important for the examination. Please remember this point. Why this particular day is celebrated? This particular day is celebrated to create awareness among you and me that importance of civil protection and preparedness. Importance of civil protection and preparedness. You might be aware of this fact that National Cadet Cadets, we are having NCC. NCC is also for that purpose only. So what we are doing in NCC, we are also training, okay, the normal civilians, okay, we are also giving them training how the army system works, etc. because they will become our future volunteers if any kind of crisis happens in the same way that Ukraine is having at this point of time, right? So this is for that purpose this particular day is celebrated. Okay. Then a very important in the Hindu newspaper in the front page only it has been mentioned Minsk Agreement and Minsk Protocol. You can call it as interchangeably, that is not an issue. So some information is not given in the Hindu newspaper, so I have got it from other, okay, the standard ones. So, dear students, the Minsk is the capital city of Belarus. Capital city of Belarus. It is a country you are having in the Europe, you are having Ukraine, no, above Ukraine you are having what? Belarus. Above Ukraine you are having Belarus. Fine. So you can see here, all this started, Minsk agreements are nothing but it is, you can see here, Russian President Putin is there, and beside him here France President Francois Hollande, German President Angela Merkel, and the Ukrainian president at that time, when the Minsk agreement was being signed by all of them, at that time we had the Ukrainian president as Petro Poroshenko. Petro Poroshenko. Now we are having Zelensky, but at that time it was Petro. So they met, all of them met in the year, they first started this how to solve the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. So you can understand that since 2014, 2009 only, this particular Russia and Ukraine relations has been very much tense. Just like we always have with Pakistan and China, in the same way they are always having a problem with each other. Okay, so they wanted to come to a proper solution. That is why for the very first time they have met in what, 2014. Okay, and the mediating parties you can see here. We are having mediating parties here, France and Germany. Okay, they will be the mediators between what? Russia and Ukraine. Okay, so they first met in 2014. Later on, whatever they drafted, the points were not good. Okay, that's why one after another, many agreements came in a new form. So that's why it is called as what? Minsk Agreement. Okay, they comprise of Minsk 1 and Minsk 2, signed in 2014 and 2015. 2014, one agreement was signed which was not that good. Again they signed another agreement in 2015. All this started, coming up of all of them started because of what? Because of annexation of Russia. Okay, annexation of Crimea by Russia. Russia has annexed this Crimea in the year 2014 only. Okay, because of this annexation, again the tension should not increase between Russia and Ukraine. They started meeting in what? Okay, they started meeting in Minsk. Okay, the capital of Belarus in 2014 and 2014 with the help of what? With the help of France and German mediators. Okay, now you can see here Donetsk and Luhansk. These two important provinces of Ukraine states, you can say, just like we are having Telangana, we are having Andhra Pradesh. No, in the same way, Luhansk and Donetsk, these two provinces of Ukraine, they are what? Pro-Russian. They are what? Pro-Russian. Means they always support what? Russian government. There is a rebellion is there. Okay, means here the group which is they are fighting against what? Their own government here, Ukraine. But they are fighting against Ukraine means they are pro to Russia. They are pro to Russia, they are towards Russia. So to solve this conflict only they are meeting. To solve the conflicts of these two pro-Russian provinces. Okay, and they are saying that we are not getting proper, what I say is representation in politics. We are not getting proper aid from the Ukrainian government. Okay, so like that, and Ukrainian forces are actually they are harming us a lot. Okay, the rebellions, the separatists, whoever are there in these pro-Russian groups, so they are actually violating a lot of human rights here. Like that, pro-Russian people groups here are complaining to Russia. Means the leaders of this pro-Russian group in Ukraine will definitely meet Russia or not? Yes, they meet. So Russia was always telling to Ukraine that you treat them very good. Okay, so this is also one of the important problem between Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine two provinces are pro-Russian. To solve this issue only they met in Minsk, and Minsk 1 and Minsk 2 happened. Okay, then later on, as you know that Ukraine want to join NATO, and that led to full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia. That also happened. Fine. So basically there is a very, very structured problem is there between Russia and Ukraine. The Minsk 1 was an agreement between Ukraine, as I have told you, and separatist forces which are a part of Ukraine, Luhansk and Donetsk territory only. Okay, these separatist forces mean they want to separate, they want to move and join what? Russia, backed by Russia. And people say that separatist forces, whatever are there here, groups, whatever are there here, they are backed by what? Russia, where both parties mutually agreed to a ceasefire. Means here whatever the groups are there which are rebelling the own government Ukraine, and they are actually want to be a part of Russia. Okay, they are pro-Russian. Fine. So here also Russia has supplied arms to these groups, and these groups are fighting with Ukraine army. Okay, their own army, they are fighting. So to solve this issue, to ceasefire means stop fire. Okay, between this group and this group, Russia and Germany, France and Ukraine, all of them sat together. Okay. All this happened because Crimea's annexation by Russia. After that only. So in this Minsk 2, in the latest version of agreements, that is Minsk 2 2015, 12 points were given, and both the parties, Russia and Ukraine, has to follow these 12 points. But both the parties failed to abide it. Fine. So that's why. So this is already I have told you. Minsk 2 was signed in the presence of what? Russia and Ukraine and OSCE, this organization of Europe. Okay, leaders of pro-Russian separatist regions, leaders of Donetsk, leader of Luhansk. Just like in Nagaland, we will talk with NCSM. Okay, IM we will talk to. Okay, so let's just like we are also having leaders here. Both the agreements are signed in Minsk, the capital of Belarus, but none of them was abided. But this agreement consists of what? Almost how many points? 12 points. Okay, so we are having here 12 points. Please go through that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 12 points are here. Okay, one more extra point is there, 13 points. So please go through that points. Okay, you will understand that what could be in future also, in foreign relations also, when you are writing the mains examination, you will understand that India and China problems are there, India and Pakistan problems are there. What could be the way out? Okay, on what basis we have to formulate a particular dialogue between these two countries? Okay, so you can understand a better way to move forward. So you can with the help of dialogue, what should be the terms of references in the dialogue, all that you will understand if you go through this 10 points. So you can incorporate this 10 point in your way forward also when you are writing the exam. Now ICC, International Criminal Court, it is different from International Court of Justice. ICJ is different, ICC is different. Please remember this point. So we have this news with regard to ICC only, that we have taken from the Hindu only. The International Criminal Court, located in the Hague, is a court of last resort for the prosecution of anyone who sponsor genocide. Genocide is nothing but mass killing of people is called as genocide. Okay, war crimes are nothing but when there is a war between two countries. Suppose we captured the China and Pakistan army people, we have captured, and we are torturing them like anything. This is called as, in war you are doing crimes. This is called as war crimes and crimes against humanity. So if any of these sort of things are happening, okay, the International Criminal Court will try them. Okay, but the important why we are discussing this means, okay, in this particular International Criminal Court, one article is there, that article 88b2 defines that any act of aggression means that's what China will do, no? They will generally come to our border and they will generally disrupt our peace, right? So any act of aggression to any use of force against any sovereignty, territorial integrity or political independence of another state. Okay, very, very important points here, please remember this. Okay, force against sovereignty, that is Ukraine's sovereignty is being taken by Russia now. Territorial integrity, Russia is entered the territory of Ukraine now. Or political independence, Russia want to have influence on the politics of the Ukraine, right? So if any country does in this way, okay, then the International Criminal Court will try that particular leaders and also the countries, PMs and presidents also. But the problem here is, this particular article will be applicable only to those countries which are having the membership of International Criminal Court. If the countries are a part of that, then these provisions will be applicable. But fortunately or unfortunately, whatever you say, fortunately for Russia and unfortunately for Ukraine, you can say this way properly. So what happened is, even Russia and also the Ukraine are not the members of International Criminal Court. That's why both of them, Ukraine have no chance to go to International Criminal Court at all to file a complaint against Vladimir Putin, Russian president, to file a complaint against him. So that is also not possible here. Okay, fine. So, and one more important point here, India is also not a member. India has not signed this International Criminal Court membership, not ever ratified it. Nothing happened. So this was there. Then doctrine of humanitarian intervention, responsibility to protect. R2P, very, very important. Responsibility to protect. Okay. According to UN Convention, okay, it is every state responsibility. Every state means every government, every country's responsibility to protect its population from what? Gross violation of human rights. Okay, that's what I have told you. Russia was saying that my people here, you are violating their rights. You are not giving them proper respect. You are not giving them proper dignity. You are not giving them proper share in the participation of economic and political aspects. So my people, okay, here their rights are getting violated. Rights are getting violated. So now you see here, that's what I want to make a statement here. Please see it properly. If any Russian population is there in Ukraine and their rights are violated by what? Ukraine only. If at all that happens, international community responsibility is there in assisting state to fulfill such responsibility. Okay. So any country, if their population is being harassed, if their population is being prosecuted, if their population human rights are violated by any other country, okay, in which their own people are there, then that state can go for what? Peace. Then states can go for solving that particular issue. Now what happened is Russia has invoked this provision. And said that, see, my people are there in Ukraine and you are not treating them well. It is my responsibility now, according to international convention, to protect my people. That's why I am invading. So Russia has also got one of the loophole in the international law, and it is justifying its invasion on what? Invasion on Ukraine. Okay. Now little bullet news we are having. Operation plan to evacuate Indian from Ukraine is Operation Ganga. UN chief is General Antonio Guterres. Madhabi Puri Butch, she is one, named first woman SEBI chairperson. First woman SEBI chairperson is she is one. SEBI means Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay, Securities Exchange Board of India. All the market related to bonds, all the market related to shares, all the market related to National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, whatever you come hear about demat account, etc., so and so forth, all that is supervised and regulated by what? SEBI only. Right. Anti-defection law. Anti-defection law, what happened? In Goa, one party is a Congress Legislative Party. 10 MLAs of Congress Legislative Party have shifted toward BJP. BJP. Traditionally, according to the act, according to the anti-defection law, if any person move from one party to another party, then he should be disqualified. Means he should go for again re-election on the party that he want to be a part of. Okay, and should fight the election from that particular party. Okay, so but what happened here? Bombay High Court has exempted this 10 MLAs, okay, from anti-defection. Exempted these 10 MLAs from anti-defection. Means when they moved from their own Congress Legislative Party, when they moved from CLP to BJP, the this Bombay High Court has not disqualified them. But according to the law, they should get disqualified. This is the controversy. Now let us understand what is anti-defection law. Anti-defection law is mentioned in 10th schedule of the Constitution. 10th schedule of the Constitution. It was enacted by Parliament in 1985, but came into force in the same year in 1985 only. Okay. And it was enacted on the background of this slogan, Ayaram Gayaram slogan. What is the meaning of Ayaram Gayaram slogan? Before this 1985, suppose I got elected to Congress, anytime I will shift to BJP. But remember one point, when you vote a particular person, you will not vote that particular person only. You will vote for the party agenda also, you will vote for the party leader also, right? Okay, that is what you generally elect a particular person from your constituency. You may not know that particular MLA, MP forever in your life, but you know that who is the leader of that particular party. Having faith in that particular leader of that particular party, you will generally vote to the candidate, though even you don't know anything about him, right or wrong? Yes. So when you choose me as a Congressperson, when you have elected me as a Congressperson, now I shift to BJP, will you get hurt or not? This particular person was a congressman, so you liked Rahul Gandhi leadership, that's why what you have done is, by seeing the Rahul Gandhi face, Priyanka Gandhi face, you voted for me. So you want Congress party to come to power. But what I have done, I have shifted to BJP. So your faith has been damaged or not? Yes. Getting my point? So this is utter what I say is mockery of democracy. Democracy will not run like that. It is like will of the people has been not been respected, right? You wanted to vote me on the basis of Congress, but I shifted to BJP. If I am not disqualified, it means what is our right we have exercised here? Nothing, right? That's why when you vote for me as a Congress party, man, if I go to BJP, I have to resign my seat. I have to contest again in the BJP seat as a BJP person. Okay, then you will have a choice. That constituency principle will have a choice whom to vote or not. And so in order to have a complete faith and complete transparency in exercising the rights of the voting rights of the citizen, this particular act has been what's enacted. Anti-defection law. 2 grounds a person will get disqualified. If you are elected from a particular party, 2 grounds of disqualification is there. First one is if the member voluntarily gives up the membership. If you don't, if you say to the Congress also, sir, I don't want to be in your party. Okay, you go. So this is first one. You will be disqualified. Second is if you vote against the party. If you vote against the party direction, then also you will be disqualified. In 2 cases you will be disqualified, being a MLA or MP. Now you see the 10th schedule has an exception also. 10th schedule has an exception. Okay, these 2 grounds are disqualified. But when a merger between one political party happens, when BJP, say like MIM gets merged with TRS, okay, or Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress got merged into one single party. Now this is not called as disqualification because all of them are one. All the party people consensus are one. So this is one ground. If the political parties get merged, there won't be any disqualification. Or else, when 2/3 of the members of a legislative party moves into another party. 2/3 means 100 Congress MLAs are there. Okay. Out of this 100, 75 move to BJP. Okay, so more than 2/3. Okay, 2/3 has went, then that is not called as disqualification. Less than that, it is called as disqualification. But in Goa, whatever happened, no, 10 MLFs of CLP moved to BJP. So that was not 2/3. That was not a merger of political party also. So there was a controversy that why Bombay High Court has given, has exempted the 10 MLAs from disqualification. Actually, they should get disqualified. Okay, some paragraphs analysis is there. So you can go through that particular source and you can read in depth. Indian Express. Okay, what is the controversy, which paragraph, which section has been invoked by the Bombay High Court and why they are not disqualified, etc. The total analysis is there here. You should go through that. Okay, fine. IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, founded in the year 1988. Okay, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This is it is not a having a office is not there. Okay, nothing is there. It is a research body. It generally takes the research report of all the scientists and research institute and compile them and give the proper findings. IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. They release is the 6th assessment report on impacts, adaptation and vulnerability. Please remember the theme: impacts, adaptation and vulnerability. So in the examination they may ask you that the recent 6th assessment report of IPCC titled as Impact, Adaptation and Vulnerability. IPCC in this report has warned that there is a probable outbreak of malaria in the Himalayan region. Outbreak of malaria in the Himalayan region. So malaria, you can see one female Anopheles mosquito is there. Okay. So already to fight with malaria and to remove malaria from our country, Government of India has launched National Strategic Plan for Elimination of Malaria. Okay, was launched, and under this plan we wanted to achieve the complete eradication of malaria by 2024. Remember, and the India has set its goal to eliminate malaria by 2027, 3 years ahead of what? 3 years ahead of 2024. So actually we wanted to do this by this, then later on we wanted to do 3 years ahead. 3 years ahead we wanted to do this. Fine. Now, malaria is a vector-borne disease. Why we are saying vector means? Suppose this is here you are having a protozoan parasite is there. What is that? Protozoan parasite. Okay, this is the causative organism. This organism only causes malaria. Okay, this will be picked up by female Anopheles mosquito. Mosquito will pick up this protozoan and it will, when it bites us, okay, that particular protozoan will be released into our body. So this parasite is having two hosts. Okay, one is Anopheles mosquito and human beings. Anopheles mosquito and human beings. So that's why Anopheles, this mosquito is acting as a vector. Vector means nothing but the one who carries that pathogen. Okay, disease causing organisms are called as pathogen. Here what is the pathogen? Protozoa. Protozoan parasite is a pathogen. Plasmodium. Generally Plasmodium. Plasmodium species. All of them are what? Plasmodium types. So this protozoan parasite Plasmodium will be there in the environment, wherever the sewage, drainage, etc. is there. No, there it will breed. Then mosquito will go on that sewage, drainage, etc. and it will pick up that particular parasite. And good thing is, mosquito will not have any problem with it. Mosquito is happy with this particular protozoan. But when this protozoan parasite goes into our body, we'll get malaria. Okay, it is the most commonly transmitted by infected female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, it first attack your liver cells and then attack your red blood cells, and red blood cells will rupture. And you know that when red blood cells rupture, then oxygen carrying capacity will decrease, fever, palpitation, okay, that kind of things will start in your body. Thanks a lot for hearing to me. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.